Well, like that, we go live, Guru. It's Liquidate All Assets. Once again, we are back. It's a special Thursday edition of Liquidate All Assets. And Goo, as you look at the page, episode 26.
And I'm going hashtag random. And I saw this 30 for 30 people. It was so great. But it's Daryle Strawberry, the lefty. How about that? Same name. He's the winner. So it's Daryle Strawberry, the Hall of Famer, Dibs.
He wore number 26. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Daryle Strawberry.
Man, that's solid. And, I was actually thinking you might go Wendell Tyler, of course, the famous.
He fumbled too much, but I was going to give it to him. I'll never forget, he was on NFL Today, and Irv Cross, rest in peace, gave him a football that had a handle on it.
Oh, man. That's so messed up. Can you imagine somebody doing that now? That would be ice cold.
Yeah. I'm ready. Let's get this money.
I love it. We got Thursday night football. We got a full slate of NFL games, week 9. We've got some college picks. We got some NBA for tonight. Of course, I'll try my hand at English Premier League picks. We have a golf event already underway. The guy shot a 61 today, so we'll see if his odds have dropped dramatically. And also, Goo, the big weekend of horse racing is upon us. The Breeders' Cup starts tomorrow. I'll got some Friday Breeders' Cup picks for you.
I can't wait. And when does that start? When I wake up, or no, we got to wait later in the day here on the West Coast?
Yeah, it's actually on the West Coast this year. It's at Del Mar down in San Diego.
Oh, wow.
So the big races start about 2:30 or 3 tomorrow afternoon. And then Saturday, you've got another 5 or 6 big races. These are the big money races. It's kind of the year-end celebration of horse racing.
I love it. I'm ready to go. Let's get it.
I love it. This is Liquidate All Assets, brought to you by Livermore Casino. Get in on the action at Livermore Casino in downtown Livermore on First Street, Tri-Valley's only poker destination, offering blackjack, 3-card poker, baccarat with no player collection. Enjoy their 24-hour gaming floor, full bar, and restaurant with indoor and outdoor patio seating. Watch all your favorite games at Livermore Casino. Open 7 days a week. Visit us at 3571 First Street today in downtown Livermore, on First Street in Livermore. Livermore Casino, Tri-Valley's place to play. Please play responsibly. Well, Goo, I'm coming off a little bit of a herder. I was 2-8 last week after all the dust settled. We've had some big weeks. I had a bad week. You, by my count, were 4-4-1. So why don't you go ahead and get us started with Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, the 4-4-1 feels like 8-0 because it started out real bad, dude.
Yeah.
So the Jets, who got their, a big win last Sunday, knocking off the hot Cincinnati Bengals, travel to Indy, and they're winless on the road. The Jets are, and they're giving up 121 yards, Dibs, on the ground. And I just think it's going to be a big game by Jonathan Taylor and the Colts. But with that said, I'm taking the Jets and Robert Saleh plus 10 to cover. They may win this game. I think they've gotten something, and they'll be competitive. I'm taking the Jets plus 10 tonight.
I like it. There's something happening here, as you like to say. And
Springfield.
Thank you. I'll give you a 4 for following through on my setup. New York has 2 wins over AFC contenders at home. The Titans, they beat the Bengals, but they've struggled on the road. Indy only 1-3 at home. The only team they beat, the Texans, so far. So kind of playing off what you were talking about, Goo. And I've said this every week here on Liquidate All Assets. I believe in a Thursday night under.
Wow.
So I'm going under.
I like that. I thought about it. Okay, under 45.
And if the Jets do win, Goo, it's going to probably be like a 21-20, a 19-17. I don't think the Jets necessarily will light it up and beat Indy in a high-scoring game. I like the Jets plus 10, but I'm not totally sold on Robert Saleh, so I'm going to go ahead and play the under. I'm going to play the trend with a couple of teams off a short week, having some trouble offensively. I'm going under 45 tonight, Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, that was my second most favorite. So hopefully we both hit. The Jets cover, and then you get that under. But you have been consistent all year long with the under on Thursday night, and I'm with you.
Yeah, this is the 8th game on Thursday Night Football, and I believe the unders are 5-2 or 4-3, depending on what number you had. There's been a couple of close ones, but by and large, those games have gone under. And I appreciate Robert saying, yeah, let's make some cash. And IB is listening on the train to Santa Barbara.
There you go.
Shout out the Coastal Cruiser, the beautiful train. I don't know if you've ever been on Amtrak, Goo, especially like up and down the coast, but it's spectacular.
That's amazing. You just asked that question and you do not know. And I feel like maybe you do, but I'm excited. I relocated to Sacramento and I'm taking the Amtrak to work. So every morning I get that beautiful view of the bay from the Tiburon all the way up. So it's a great ride, little snacks, and it's less wear and tear on your boy.
Okay. I didn't know you were taking the train now. How long does that take you?
Yeah.
Takes you about 90 minutes?
About 2 hours and 5.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 hours and 5 minutes.
And that drops you off in Emeryville, and then you got to take BART, or?
They got a nice Warrior-type bus or NBA bus, I call it, waiting on you. So we get off Emeryville, bus takes us right here to the TransUnion Salesforce Tower, and then I just walk it in, get that exercise.
Good for you, Goo. I had no idea. So the over-under every day is 2 hours and 5 minutes.
There you go. Right, till I get to Steiny, yeah.
I love it. It's Guru and Dibs. It's Liquidate All Assets, brought to you by Livermore Casino, and we appreciate E-Dog, Evan Giddings, who's now your producer, but he's also our producer, which is kind of nice. Goo, let's shift gears quickly to the NBA because we try to go chronologically in order, and we've got some NBA action tonight, including Philadelphia taking on the Pistons.
And I love Cade Cunningham. I love the fact that he's back for the young Pistons. They play hard, but I'm taking the Sixers -4. That's my lock of the day, Dibs. Sixers -4. And then the night, no LeBron James in L.A. They're playing the Thunder, who play hard, but they can't hit the side of a barn. The under is 214. I'm taking the under in OKC and L.A., 214, Sixers -4.
Okay, under 214, because I had you down there for the Lakers given the points, but you want the under in that OKC Laker game.
Right. I don't trust the Lakers right now. They're still trying to – and no LeBron. He's out with an abdomen strain for a week, so there'll be some bricks tonight or slow pace.
Okay, and I got the Sixers at 4.5 right now in real time. So are you still okay with it being at 4.5?
Yeah, because you had to get 5 to win anyway. Yeah, so I just don't get the push if it's 4.
Okay, I'm going to put you down for 4.5.
I like this, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you the real-time feel, trying to give the audience the real-time odds. And, yeah, shout out the Capital Corridor, IB, of course. You're rolling on the train. You got to love that. We appreciate everyone with us here. Buster Posey's retirement ceremony is our competition right now, so we're going head-to-head with one of the greats in Bay Area history. Goo, I have just one for you tonight.
I'm ready.
From the NBA, because I've been struggling in the NBA, but I look at this one and I think Boston's a team that is better than their record would indicate. Jalen and Jason, Jason and Jalen, they're two of the best scorers in the association. And so I look at Boston getting 6.5 on the road at Miami, and I think this game will be much closer than that. I don't know if Boston can win. I like their chances to win, but give me Boston and 6.5 with a high-scoring tandem on the road at Miami.
I read something on the corridor train this morning about Boston, who I don't know if you know, Dibs. They blew a 19-point lead, blew a game up 19. Marcus Smart did not play, but he took the Uzi and said that Tatum and Brown need to pass more. And since then, they had an emotional, quote-unquote, team meeting, and they're undefeated since that meeting. And I picked Miami to come out of the East because I think all their additions, Kyle Lowry, they've been excellent, Tucker. But I like Boston, and I like him to not just win this game, but at least cover, Dibs. I like this one.
Okay, good. Because I think that a nice team meeting always does a lot in the short term. Yeah, good. It does a lot early. I don't know how it helps over the long term, but, Boston's a team. They're better than this, in my opinion. And so I look at what the Sixers have done, what the Celtics have done, and I think this is a team that likely will end up in that 4-5 kind of seed line. And so far they haven't played to that caliber. And so I think this is one of those games where they try to show out and they try to right the ship a little bit.
I like this, and it gets started soon, Dibs. That's the best part about our pod. You get in the pool right after we get done.
I love it. Currently 3-5, your Boston Celtics. So a little bit of a reach with Boston on the road. Let's talk NBA MVP odds, Goo, because A guy who has been pretty quiet offensively is leading the way. Steph Curry, your favorite at 5-1. How confident are you in Steph winning it, unless he gets injured, of course?
I'm very confident, but I got to tell you, Dibs, the last few games, and it's not the fourth quarter scoring at all, they don't need to rely on him, but that's a team good thing to have. That's a team type of contribution. But I'm used to him going for the 35-40s, and it hasn't happened. And I'm not saying that's the only aspect to get you MVP in the NBA, but I need him to go off soon. But I would put something down on 5-1 because I really think he's going to get it. But I am a bit perplexed that we haven't got the 35 and the 40 Mariucci burgers here recently. I don't know how you feel about that, but I like the 5-1 because I think he's going to get it.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get it because of what you're saying. They're absolutely hounding him. Shout out Huckleberry Hound.
Wow.
They're all over this guy. I'll take a 3. They're all over him every time he goes near the basket, even inside of 35 feet.
Wow.
They are just frustrating him. But Steph is so selfless and he's so smart that he realizes he can give up the ball and the team can thrive accordingly. I'm like Kevin Durant at plus 550. He's 11-2.
Yeah.
You bet 100, you win 550. I think that as Brooklyn goes, Kevin Durant is going to continue to become more dominant in his own way. Kyrie Irving, he's off the reservation. James Harden cannot adjust to the new rules. It's Kevin Durant. And I think as this season goes on, you're going to see more and more of them relying on KD to try to carry the scoring load.
That is great. I want to ask you, what is Kevin Durant? What are those odds? And before you tell me, Dibs, James Harden, to his credit, not defending the beard, he said he rehabbed his hammy all off season, which cost him the playoffs. We saw that, and he didn't get a chance to play one-on-one. So that's why the lack of 30 and 40-point games. But I think what you just said about Curry applies to KD. No Kyrie, and he'll run out of gas. Not in a way where we're saying what's wrong, but putting up those gaudy numbers. And with Wiseman and Thompson coming back, that's when I think the chef can breathe.
Yeah, that'll help, but I don't know if there's going to be enough time left for that to be a factor. And Robert says he put his chicken down on Curry and Mitchell. Curry the favorite, Mitchell the long shot. Clay will come back. He won't blow everyone away, IB, okay. But I think that the way the Warriors are going to play this year is a little bit more strength in numbers than it is Curry or bust, which is why I would look elsewhere. Kevin Durant plus 550, Goo. 11-2. Okay. Bet 100, get 550 back. A really interesting long shot, and I'm just throwing this out there because he currently leads the association in scoring. Paul George, 28-1.
Wow. I mean, how can you get mad at that? I mean, I'll do something with that after we get done, but the question there is, can he keep it up? But he'll have the opportunity. And the Clippers play hard, Dibs. And again, the Clippers would have to have team success for PG-13 to get it. But 28-1 is very attractive. But so is that Kevin Durant, who arguably is the best player in the association.
Yeah, thank you. I'll give you 2 for your Tim Roy. That's a good effort. I appreciate you trying. It's Liquidate All Assets, brought to you by Livermore Casino. Come out and see us. Open 24 hours a day. The gaming floor, full bar, restaurant, indoor, outdoor patio seating. Watch all your favorite games at 3571 First Street today in downtown Livermore. Livermore Casino, Tri-Valley's place to play. Play responsibly. Goo, are we getting ready to do a live podcast from Livermore Casino?
Yes, we are, and I am ready to go. I'm fired up, and I mean, just think about how the inception of the pod happened, and now we get to meet the folks that are supporting the pod. I'm fired up, Dibs.
Okay, I'll set it up, Goo. Hope we'll do one for sure out there before Christmas. How about that?
All right, I'm ready.
Yeah, we'll get out there. We'll do a little reconnaissance, and we'll figure out exactly what we need to do to make this happen. So we got your NBA odds set. We got your MVP futures. What about the NBA champion odds, Goo? Because the Warriors suddenly are a little bit of a smaller price. The Nets are favored plus 250, bet 100, win 250. Lakers 5-1, Bucks 8-1. The Warriors 8.5-1. What do you think about plus 850 on Golden State?
I'm gonna do it, and the reason I'm going to do it is, you mentioned it, a strength in numbers, and I'm being proactive. My Warrior glass is half full, and with Wiseman, the freak of nature in regard to size. He gives him a different dimension. And if Clay can just listen to what I'm about to say, Dibs, and people, 75% of what he was, I mean, now Curry can go and do whatever. And forget Iggy. I love him. They got a new defensive stopper. What do you make of GP2? Like, this is why we watch sports, but I think it's real. And he gives them a dimension to go sick on the other team's top dog. He's playing his tail off.
Yeah, it just looks like Draymond Green has got some running mates now, because you talk about, JTA, Juan Toscano Anderson, a guy who's not afraid to get into the corners and do the dirty work as I talk hockey. And now GP2, it's a very small sample size.
Yes,
but
it is.
What he's showing you is that he wants to play defense. And he knows that the way he earns a spot on the team is by getting in there and doing the dirty work. It's not by floating and stroking. It's by getting in there and taking the ball from people, and he's doing great.
And speaking of that, what about the poster on Oubre? This dude's unlike Dad. Dad had little hops. He's got hops, but he's also hitting that three ball. You know what, Dibs? And I tell my kids this every day. If you're not confident, you're not going to be able to accomplish your goals. He looks confident because I can't put my finger on why he's been a journeyman back to Santa Cruz. We'll watch this story, but I'm excited.
Of course you are, Goo. There's, pay the over on the first I'm excited reference. Well, I was hoping to get to it a little bit earlier, but I'm willing to live with it. It's Liquidate All Assets with Guru and Dibs here, and I hope you're enjoying it on StreamYard or IG Live, Facebook Live, Twitter. Make sure you join us on YouTube, on the YouTube channel at 957 The Game. Like us, subscribe, and continue to enjoy the content. Goo, do you want to talk a little bit about college football before we get back to the NFL?
Yeah, let's do it.
I know you got a couple of picks for me. Let's start with your Pac-12 selection involving the Ducks.
Yeah, and the Ducks have been good to me, Dibs. So I'm going back. They got a game this week, and I'm going the over because they've been scoring. And last week, like I said, they helped me out, and that's the one I hit you with. But I got my info wrong, my intel wrong. But Dibs, I just really think they're playing good football, and they got UW. So I think I'm going with the over. There's going to be a lot of points scored, and that's to play over in the UW football game against Oregon this weekend.
Yeah, I got it listed at 51, Goo, and Oregon's been good. Their defense actually better than many expected, and I'm just wondering if Washington will have enough to score with Oregon to make this thing go over.
Now, I kind of messed up too, Dibs. I messed up on you. It's actually I got it. I messed up here.
We got to clean up on aisle, Goo.
No, that was great. I just had another game for you, but I got a different one, so I had a different set. So I am concerned about their defense, but the offense, with what Oregon's doing, I think we get that over. I'm predicting about 62 points.
Okay, you're going with 62 in the Oregon game, and I know that E-Dog had some analysis in here talking about Oregon 5-3 against the spread. Colorado's games have gone over 54 in just once. That's the Oregon State game that he has up here. So talking about the other game you like, which is Michigan State and Purdue.
I can't believe Michigan State blew that game came back in that game against Jim Harbaugh and the Wolverines. And I think they parlay that and they go to Indiana to take on Purdue. And I don't understand why the spread is this small, Dibs. I mean, I really don't. I think Michigan State is going to win this going away. I got it right now. Purdue -3. I think they win this by 10 or more.
Wow. And you think that Michigan State, even though they're in a letdown spot, coming off of the big emotional win over Michigan, you don't think that they let down?
Not at all. I think this propels them the rest of the way when you talk about division play. Dibs, this is an opportunity. They showed me a lot not blowing that game and coming back to get it. I just think Purdue's in trouble from the outset. This is one your boy's going to double down and get under the mattress. Not Mattress Mac, because I ain't got that chicken, but I think they put it on the Boilermaker.
Michigan State, by the way, 3-1-1 against the spread when favored by 3 or more this year. And Purdue, they've been underdogs by 3 points or more 4 times this year, and they've covered twice. So the trends are telling you that this one could be pretty close, could be in the balance.
What did you make of, and I know I left you on the pod with Michigan, who that didn't come through. Did you put that all on Harbaugh? Did it change anything about what you think of him as a coach or had thought?
No, it just confirmed what I think of him as a coach, which is, he's a great coach, but when the lights are the brightest, when the chips are down, he's not a guy who usually wins those big games.
Yeah, that was I ran out of ammunition defending him for them to blow that game. And I'm
going to give you 2, Goo, from college football. Yeah, NCAA is about the only thing that I've been hot on, and I'm going to start with Cincinnati. They recently were left out of the top 5. They were left out of the college football playoff, even though they're undefeated, and they were ranked number 2 in the country, I believe, according to polls. But the new college football playoff rankings, they're on the outside looking in. They're going to be motivated to shout out the cover girls, show me, you really love me. Actions speak louder than words. So they're going to pound Tulsa into a bloody pulp, take Cincinnati, lay the 22.5 against Tulsa.
I love it, and I love the cover girl reference. That's a 4, Dibs. I would have gave you a 10, but I'm with you. They are smart and left out of the top 5, so this could get ugly quick.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati is a team where they're clearly better than Tulsa, but they're not going to want to ease up. They're going to want to make a loud statement in this game. It's a 12:30 kick. It's at home at Nippert Stadium. Tulsa is 3-5 on the year. Cincinnati 8-0. Far better. My second game, Goo, is going to be a pray for OT special.
Okay.
I've been to College Station. I saw Tennessee play against Texas A&M.
Wow.
When Alvin Kamara and Jalen Hurd were both on the field. It was the only time I've ever been.
That's awesome.
The only game I've ever been to in the SEC. It was double overtime. It was an absolute classic. My old neighbor was on the coaching staff. He was a graduate assistant, so he set me up. I was out there at Kyle Field, 70,000 on hand. Everybody arm in arm. We're swaying. It was an incredible experience. My point being, these games are going to be close. This game is going to be close. So I'm taking Auburn +5 at Texas A&M, and I'm praying for a game-winning field goal either way.
That is a great story. I got to ask you who won that game because there was star power in it, but also Auburn's been playing good football, so I'm with you, Dibs. I like that pick.
Yeah, A&M actually won it in double overtime, which was pretty cool. It was great to see, and just to be there in that setting. Game day was there as well, so my buddy Ken, shout out Kenny Flamer, one of my best friends. We went out there, we flew out, we brought our golf clubs, and then that morning we went very, very early and sat out there at game day and enjoyed, Herbie and Fowler and Lee Corso and the whole thing. We saw that live as well.
That is awesome. Sounds like a good trip. It sounds like it was just yesterday, so I wish I had that one to experience with the old game day out there, but good for you, Dibs. I like both those picks. I
appreciate it, Goo. Let's turn our attention to the NFL, and let's start with Sunday Night Football, Tennessee against the Rams, and this is officially the Murtaugh and Hobbs special because we both like the same team, Goo.
Yeah, no doubt. How can you not? And especially the blow that the Titans had to go through losing Derrick Henry. That's just how do you come back from that? And I know they got Adrian Peterson. He'll probably have his cane with him. I love you, AD all day. But 7.5, the Rams, my Super Bowl pick, coming out the NFC at the beginning. Dallas making it a little closer, but I think they just beat the brakes off the Titans, and I'm going with the Rams. Sounds like you are too.
Yeah, I like the Rams minus 7.5. I think that Tennessee, without Derrick Henry, relies too much on Tan, as Lowe would call him, and I don't think he's the kind of quarterback who can outduel Matthew Stafford. So I also am going to take the Rams and give the 7.5. Let's talk about the Niners in Arizona, Goo, because this spread is actually kind of all over the place, and I'm not sure which way you're going to go. So you had it one way, the spread moved, but who do you like? Arizona and the Niners. The Niners are favored by 1.5.
I'm going with the Niners, even if Kyler plays. Now, I know that'll change what it is right now, but I kind of had Arizona in the pretender category, and there's just something that they run out of gas. But the fact that Trey Lance made his first start in Arizona, Dibs, and they only lost the game by 7, had the ball, couldn't get it in there, and now Jimmy Garoppolo, to me, has been unlocked. We're seeing more throws down the field or him looking downfield, more passes on first down. I think the Niners get back to 500 and win this game, Dibs. I'm very confident. I don't know how you feel, but I like the Niners.
Are you telling me you're going to liquidate all assets?
I am going to do that on episode 26, my friend.
I love it.
Make the Niners at home.
Yes, given 1.5, though, just so we know, the spread has gone up to 1.5 with the Kyler Murray uncertainty. But I'm with you. I think that this team is playing for Jimmy G, and I think Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy enough to do enough. And, you know, I said at the beginning of the year that all these teams in the NFC West would split. They'd all be 3-3 against each other. Arizona beat the Niners the first time. I think the Niners are going to get Arizona this time. Goo, before we get to Monday Night Football, let's give out a bonus NFL pick. And I know you've got your eye on San Diego. I'm sorry, the Chargers against Philly.
Yeah, and I just can't believe this spread is what it is and this close. The Chargers, you know, they got beat over the head by the Ravens, and a lot of people said they'd been figured out or whatnot, but I just don't like what Philly's doing. I don't believe in the quarterback, and that's why I'm looking at this line. Is like somebody hurt? Is Herbert not playing? I think they're going to beat the brakes off the Eagles, Dibs, and that's why my bonus special this week is Chargers on the road over the Eagles. Can you believe the spread is this close? I just can't.
1.5 is what it's currently. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the idea of the Chargers going east, but this is not a 10 a.m. game. It's a 1:05 game out here, which means 4:05 in Philadelphia. I like Philadelphia, but I think the Chargers are real. I like that pick, Goo, but I'm not going to go that way for my bonus. My bonus pick, I'm going against Team Fake Vax. Yes, I'm going against Aaron Rodgers and his homeopathic vaccination sensation. No Aaron Rodgers for Green Bay. Maybe I'm a sucker, Goo. I'm a sucker not for a pretty face, but for a pretty offense. And I still believe, shout out Brenda K-Star, I still believe.
Lost Dibs. But it sounds like he was going with the Kansas City Chiefs. I do understand it. What Aaron Rodgers has to deal with when he does come back, I honestly believe people can ruin their season. So I'm Dibs. Go ahead. I was just waiting for you.
No, I meant to click on the box to see you, but I clicked on the close box. That was crazy.
Hey, and I tried too, like Gary Coleman. Like, what do I do on set? Oh, I got to keep it going.
That's a personal foul on me. I gotta raise my hand to the scores table. But I was saying, Brenda K-Star, I still believe in Kansas City. Call me a sucker. I'm taking the Chiefs, and I'm laying the 7.5.
You know what? And I just can't believe that your boy is going to be ready. His first – this will be a second start for Green Bay. Jordan Love, I'm with you. Something's up with Kansas City. I got bit Monday night because I thought they would handle the Giants. They didn't cover. But I think this is the game they do. But, Dibs, I like the over in this game. I think Green Bay with Jordan Love is going to be able to score, and Kansas City will be able to score on Green Bay. So I got it over 48 right now. I don't know what you have it, but I'm going over.
Okay. Is this an official Liquidate pick here? Guru's going on the over?
Yes. Yes, I am.
I love it. I love the impromptu maneuver. And I'll give you the actual real-time number here as I scroll. And thanks to BetRiver.com. BetRiver is the actual line that we are using. And I got it at 48, Goo.
Okay.
So you're going over 48
yes, sir.
In the Packers v. Chiefs.
Yes, sir. And I think Kansas City gets their act right, and they could get 40-40 themselves.
Wow, that's bold. Let's go to Monday Night Football. Chicago versus Pittsburgh. And I'm afraid, Guru, this is a head-to-head you versus me matchup.
I'm going to tell, I can't believe you're doing this because I
I'm
watched
doing it.
every play of Pittsburgh since Cleveland, and Pittsburgh still has that Mike Tomlin moxie. They needed the game, almost lost it. Chicago's not right, Dibs, and they're still smart for blowing the game, if you want to say that to the Niners. I think the Steelers win this game by a touchdown. Their season's on the line, and they just get it done against the Bears.
Wow, I think that what we saw from Justin Fields against the 49ers was an awakening. Much like the butterfly emerges from the cocoon, you saw a quarterback who is comfortable. He can make plays. I like Chicago. You're giving me Chicago and points with a quarterback who's really starting to feel like he belongs. I'll take the Bears, and I'll take the 6, Goo.
But this is what scares me about that. I mean, they made Jimmy Garoppolo look like Y.A. Tittle. Shout out Rick Tittle, our boy. But what is Big Ben going to do if he gets time? So, Jimmy's not a runner, but he was able to put up 322 yards. I'm just like, Big Ben, they're probably licking their chops, Dibs. We'll see how it plays out.
I love it, Goo. This is Liquidate All Assets. It's Guru and Dibs here on a number of different platforms, as long as I don't close out my screen.
I got you.
Again, and shout out Robert Freeman. Clean up on aisle Dibs. Yes, it was quite a
there you go.
But I was only gone for like 10 seconds, I think. We'll have to go to the tape and see how quickly your boy was able to recover.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, Dibs, I need to pick your brain. I got something for you and Willard. I was going to save it to tomorrow, but I can't because I think so highly of you. But when we get done, before we get out of here, I got to post something to you in front of the fans, and I want to hear what you got to say, how you answer.
I love it. I'm just going to give you one pick here, Goo, from the English Premier League, and it's the Manchester Derby. Are you familiar with the Manchester Derby? So a derby, when it comes to international soccer, is a rivalry. So the city of Manchester in England, they have two teams. They have Manchester United and they have Manchester City. Manchester United is more of the upper crust, upper class, we've been good forever team. Manchester City is a team for the people, the citizens. They play twice a year, and when they play, it's called a derby because it's like an absolute blood feud between two different sides of Manchester. And this weekend, we've got a Manchester Derby.
I can't wait. I love that.
And it's cool because in the English Premier League, you only play every team twice. There's no playoffs. It's a completely balanced schedule. So at the end of 38 games, whoever the best team is, you're the champion. You don't have to worry about some cockamamie play-in scenario or anything like that.
Wow, Dibs, to think there are no playoffs, but I guess the business gets handled by this balanced schedule you talk about, to where when the season's over, you know who the best is and was.
Yes, and Manchester City has been better than Manchester United for almost a whole generation now, and Manchester United is the home team, so we're going to go ahead and play for the under. I'm sorry, Josh Hammer. I would love to see City win. I don't think that Manchester United – they've got Cristiano Ronaldo now. They've got a lot of quality. Manchester City is a very dangerous team. But, Goo, we're going to play for a defensive struggle in the derby. We're going to play under 3 goals, Man City at Man U. Man City's favored by a half/a full goal. So the experts are thinking it's going to be 2-1 Man City as your final. I'm hoping Man U can really focus on defense. Their coach is playing for his life, so we're going to consider it to be, gutter trash, not Josh Hammer. We're going to consider this a defensive struggle. We're going under the 3 in the Manchester Derby.
And I like it, and it's got the rival aspect to it, Dib, so I could definitely see this playing out that way. When will this kick off? Saturday morning?
Yeah, this is a Saturday game, and it's kicking off at 8:30 our time, or actually 5:30 our time, I believe.
Okay.
So
in the evening, huh?
No, 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, wow. Okay, so when we get up, it's going.
Yeah, it's going before we get up. So this is one you got to set your alarm to because it's 1:30 in England. It's the featured game of the entire weekend of action.
Love it, Diz. I'm an early riser, so your boy might already be up.
Nice. Well, Goo, before we get your final salutation, I do want to give you my Friday Breeders' Cup locks because your boy's done his research. Now, The horse races go Friday and Saturday. I'm going to give you the Friday picks. If you want the Saturday picks, follow me on Twitter at Dan Dibley. I'll be getting into the forum tomorrow.
I love it, Dibs. Let's get it.
So Friday is all the juvenile races, all 2-year-olds. And when you're a 2-year-old horse, you're basically a rookie because you don't run as a 1-year-old. When a horse is born, no matter when they're born, they're considered to be born on January 1st. That first full year, they don't race. When you become a 2-year-old, that's when you start racing. And so all the races on Friday are of 2-year-olds. And these best 2-year-olds will be the 3-year-olds next year who race for the Kentucky Derby.
That is so interesting. Wow, Dibs, did not know that. I'm fired up. I can't wait. What you got?
So we got a full slate of 2-year-old races, and these are unproven horses because they've only been racing some of them. Some of them haven't raced at all. But we're going to go with the first race, which is the 6th race, the Juvenile Turf Sprint. We're going with number 8, Waverly Jane. Waverly Jane has had an unbelievable 2-year-old campaign. She's been terrific. In the 7th race, the Juvenile Fillies, this I think is the lock of the day. It's not going to be a very good price, but we're going with Echo Zulu, the 6th horse in the 7th race. Echo Zulu, the daughter of Gunrunner, who was the horse of the year in 2017.
This is awesome.
In the 8th race, it's our long shot of the day, and this one comes from Spadoni's brother. You know Spadoni, our board op.
Yeah,
his brother and his dad are diehard horse racing fans. He says, take the number 8, Sail By. Sail By. He's a long shot in the Juvenile Filly Turf. That's the 8th race. In the 9th race, we're going to go with Command Performance. He's a closer, Goo. And we love a closer. This is the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. It's a 1.1 miles. It's a long race. Command Performance, the 10 horse, is likely to close. And the final of the Breeders' Cup races on Friday, the 10th race, the Juvenile Turf. This one comes from. Wow, this is the Spadoni lock of the day. The 6 horse McKinnon, MACKINNON, McKinnon. Spadoni's brother says he's a lock. He's won his last 3. We're taking McKinnon in the Juvenile Turf.
And he's won his last 3. I'm all the way in.
So the races that we like are races 6 through 10. And in order, we're on the 8, the 6, the 8, the 10, the 6. Those are our horses.
Love it, Dibs. I cannot wait, man.
There you have it. And on Saturday is the Breeders' Cup Classic, a $6 million prize, $3 million to the winner. I like the number 4 horse, Essential Quality. I'm going with Essential Quality in the Classic. He won the Belmont. He should have won the Derby, but that horse was on drugs, and he beat him. Oh. And, shout out Gutter Trash, Animals Riding Animals. That's what I said today on Willard and Dibs. I love betting on animals, but I love betting on animals being ridden by other animals.
I love it. I love it, Dibs. That's a classic.
All right, good. What do you got for me?
So listen, I think so highly, and this came up on the show. It didn't get heated because I love my boy Steiny, but I know what you stand for to me. And I respect you. And you play team sports. You're part of a team here at 95.7 The Game. So with that said, Joe Montana, the great Joe Montana, came out and he said that the Niners basically got it wrong and that he would have went with Mac Jones. And I'm telling the masses and the people, and it didn't get heated, but we got a lot of reaction. I want to pick your brain. It's not that Joe Montana shouldn't have that opinion. But the fact that he did it to his alma mater before Trey Lance even gets started in his 9 or 10 year, Dibs, I know you hate this fair foul. I thought he was wrong going public, and it had me think about their relationship. And I know it's not all good in the hood the way it ended, but I thought Joe was wrong doing that. Your thoughts?
He's entitled to his opinion, and ultimately nobody knows anything. The proof will be in the pudding. And I actually heard you in Steiny. I'm a P1. I'm a hardcore listener. And I heard this back and forth. And honestly, what does Joe know? Joe Montana was a great quarterback, but he's not a talent evaluator. And Trey Lance hasn't done anything. We all knew that Mac Jones would be ahead of Trey Lance at this point, and he is. So where's the big mystery in that, Joe? Where were you as a rookie? You were behind Steve DeBerg. So to me, it doesn't really matter. Ultimately, in 2 more years, we'll know whether or not Trey Lance is the sauce or not, no matter what Joe Montana says.
Dibs, that's why I had to ask you, but forget where he was, what side he was on. It was the fact that he would go in on his former team and the management. That I just didn't like that. That's what shocked me.
Yeah, but he's also a former Chief. Can he not weigh in on Patrick Mahomes?
All right.
Yeah,
I just thought it was odd.
Yeah, I know, and you always have your radar up for that. You're picking up for everyone, Goo. That's why we love you.
I love it. Too. All right, man, let's get this chicken.
Appreciate all the commenters, and make sure you share this, pass it along. We got winners for you. Liquidate All Assets brought to you by Livermore Casino. Goo, I'll see you tomorrow, brother.
I'll see you tomorrow, buddy.